find ourselves in Georgia, in the capital city of Tbilisi. It's a very historic place. This whole country used to be part of the Soviet Union back in the day, the USSR, but obviously not anymore. So we're going to take a little bit of a road trip. First, we're going to walk around Tbilisi a little bit to find out what we can see in this really cool place. So during the road trip, I plan to cover most of the country, not all of it. So stay tuned for more of that. Well, I made a mistake. I'm all the way up here on top of the Citadel. I wanted to go there, so I got to try and find a different way. We took a couple of thousand steps. It's a long way up, and I'm gonna have to do it again just to get up the other side. But the scenery, spectacular, and it's a great day. A great day. So we'll go over to the other side, see if we can get up there. See what the view's like from up there. All right, we found a way up. It's pretty steep, and there's no railing, but you know, we won't die. Oh my peeps, we finally made it to the top. Exactly what I wanted to do, got to the top. Now walking up here is a little bit strange because there's no railings and there's nothing to guide you or protect you while you're up here. As you can see, you can just jump over the edge and it's nothing. Different countries have different regulations for safety standards. This one's actually quite different as well. But it's a beautiful view. It's a beautiful day, as you can see. You can see the entire country of Tbilisi. That's not a country, it's a city. You can see the entire city of Tbilisi, which is fantastic, down the river and all the bridges and all the basilicas and things like that. It's fantastic. Beautiful, beautiful view. I can only imagine what this place looked like back in the 7th century or before when this was built, and how they used to watch over their city or their village or whatever it was back then. I just wanted to point something out here in Tbilisi, or in Georgia in general. They're very religious back in the days. You can see that there's cathedrals all over the place here, and they're right next to each other. There's another one down there. There's one across the river there. There's a whole bunch there. There's a really nice big one right there, and there's a big one way in the distance. And right in this area right here, this is part of the old town. I can count 7 different religious buildings. There's so many of them in such a small area, and they're all over the place. And I don't know if they're different religious factions or what they were back in the day, but they're all really, really old, you know? 7th century, 12th century, 17th century, like that. Well, it's very interesting in how religion dominated the environment back in those days. Maybe in these days also. But at the same time, there's a ton of cafes and things like that here. And people have taken up the habit of locking locks to bridges. Now, I can't imagine how heavy this bridge is with all these locks attached to them. As you can see, people attach these locks and they make promises of love and they do all those things on these bridges. And I just can't imagine how heavy this bridge is with all these locks on it. It's pretty amazing. One thing they don't lack of is food here in Georgia. There is plenty of places to get food, plenty of places to get good wine, and plenty of streets to serve them on. There's pedestrian streets like I'm on now. They've got wine restaurants and food restaurants and local restaurants galore everywhere you look. So we got to sit down, we got to try some of this food and wine. It looks awesome. Hey, what's up? It's the next day, and we did a bit of a road trip here in a place called Tbilisi. Now this is a place that's really awesome. It's been here since 2000 years BC, and a lot of people lived here right up until the 6th century, living in these caves all around this mountaintop. And there's a monastery at the top as well, and you can see the ruins of the old village that used to be all down here. And a few thousand people actually lived here during that time. And we're talking about thousands and thousands of years ago. It's one of the oldest archaeological finds in Georgia. It's pretty awesome coming out here. Driving off-road most of the way as well, so that's good fun on roads like that down there. It's amazing to see these ruins down here and how people lived back then. You can even see the carvings in the stone for the footsteps for people to climb up into their housing. And this was obviously the walls of a covered home or a place like that. Up there you can see the monastery. Of course, everything revolves around religion today and back then as well. Not a lot of people know about this place. Not a lot of people come out here, but it's an amazing place to see. So like in all cultures everywhere around the world, they always had some kind of a religious ruler and some kind of a king or queen back in those days. And this is the Hall of Queen Tamara. If you happen to walk in through these doors, and you can probably see this is the area where there's probably a fire pit and a communal area. The walls are still remaining here, and I'm sure there was a roof over top that is not there anymore. And when you walk into the chambers, you just imagine what it would be like 2000 BC and how people lived back then. And this is one of the biggest chambers, rightfully so, because this belonged to the queen, right next to the monastery, which is pretty cool. You know, as much as I like to think back 2000 BC people were fairly uncivilized, kind of like cavemen or whatever, but kind of not, you know what I mean? Because everywhere you look, they build these steps to go up to different parts of their community. Cool looking place. It must have been back in those days. And then over there, of course, you have all the farmland and all the stuff where you can grow. And I'm sure the people that were here, they were growing all kinds of agricultural crops and everything over there because they had the river right close by. Also get fish. Can you imagine? It would have been quite a thriving community. All right, one thing I got to do is I got to taste a little bit of wine from the local region. Now, they made wine in these areas back then. And they made wine in these jugs called quarries, right? You see that jug there? And they put those jugs under the ground, like they demonstrate here. So those jugs, that big jug like that one over there, was put here underground, and it's kept at a temperature perfectly between 15 and 17 degrees. And that's where they stored the wine. That's where they made the wine, that's where they stored the wine in these places back in the 16th century. So here they have their own special wine that we can do some wine tasting and see what it's like. So this is a dry wine, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Yummy. So now, these are those vats that they bury into the ground. And they fill it full of wine. They make the wine in it and they store the wine in it. And because they bury it in the ground in all those holes that we've seen around here and those holes that I just showed you from that place, it keeps it at a perfect temperature between 15 and 18 degrees Celsius, of course, and it turns out to be a perfect wine, perfectly stored in this region. And they grow the grapes right here. Like, this is a simulated orchard with some grapevines, but they had them all across this mountain and in the valley over there. Actually, Stalin, you know Stalin, the guy that ran the USSR? Because this used to be part of the USSR, Georgia, and now it's a separate country, of course, but Stalin's favorite wine actually came from this region. This area exactly is one of his favorite wines that he had all the time. Pretty fascinating. So, we all heard the name Stalin before, right? Of course. Now I'm in a town in Georgia called Gori, G-O-R-I. This is the town where Stalin was born, believe it or not, which surprised me to find out as well. I just found out by chance. This behind me is the Stalin Museum dedicated to him. So I'm gonna go inside and take a look. I don't know if I can take any videos or pictures inside, but this is where he was born and this is where we're gonna go. Okay, well, we just bought the tickets to go inside waiting for a tour to start. We happened to get here on time, able to take a tour of the museum, so we'll see what that's like. But I was just informed by a very Eastern European style lady that we're not allowed to take videos in there. I can take pictures, but not videos. So I'll take some pictures, maybe sneak a video or two, and see what we get. Well, here's the cool thing. Right behind me is Stalin's personal carriage. He used to travel around in this personal train because he was actually afraid of flying. So he took the train everywhere he had to go. He liked this train particularly because it's bulletproof. It's really, really thick steel, like a tank, and nobody can get him in this thing. So he traveled around on this train. We just took a tour inside. Like I said, we can't take videos or anything, but there's a proper toilet with a bathtub, and there's a couple of bedrooms, and there's a big sitting area. It's old, but it's cool. So behind me is something very cool. This is the actual birthplace of Stalin. I'm just quite surprised what they did over here, because this is the birthplace of Stalin in its original place and original form. Now they built the museum around his birthplace, which is really cool. Now this is a 2-bedroom place. His family only housed on the left-hand side, where there was another family on the right. And Stalin's father worked downstairs making shoes for rich people. So this is the actual original house where Stalin was born, and they built a museum around his original house. Pretty cool, man. Well, my peeps, as always, we have to stop for food. I don't normally stop for food, but I'm traveling with an eater. I normally stop for a good beer, and here's a good local beer. It's really nice. I don't know the name of it. I can't pronounce it, but it's a very nice local beer. It's a lager, and we stopped and got this food. I don't know what it is. It sort of looks like a pizza, but it's not a pizza. Pastry on top and bottom, and some cheese, and some meat in the middle. It's really good. Really tasty. And it's local food from Georgia. So, always nice. Alright folks, here we are again, out for another day. And we are now in another part of Georgia. This is the Roboti Castle. It's a very cool place. This place has been here since 1204. It's quite fascinating, and it's in amazing condition. Now some of this stuff of course has been restored, for the public. There's some restaurants, and this is actually a hotel that's built on site with the same stones. But this is the actual fortress, part of the fortress castle. It's really cool to see, man. And it's right here by the town. You can look out the town. Cute little place. Let's have a look around and see what we can see. All right, well, I'm at the top of one of the towers here in the Citadel. A little bit disappointed, to be honest, because I was assuming this is going to be one of those really old castle type things, which it is really old. It's been here for a very long time, but a lot of it has been reconstructed, and it looks much better than it probably should these days. Also, they changed a lot of the rooms here in the Citadel into like office space and things like that. So it's a little bit different to see it like that, but it's still a cool place to visit. Not exactly what I thought it would be, but it's still interesting. Glad we stopped in. It's always cool road tripping and finding things on the side of the road. One of the things we found on the side of the road is this awesome waterfall. Look at that thing back there. It's way up there. It's beautiful, man. Really nice to see. Totally natural. Right on the side of the road. Nice quiet river, a little lagoon up there. I wish it was warmer. Go for a little dip. It is a beautiful sight. Totally awesome, man. I'm back. Well, it's a long day, man. We're down here on the coast of the Black Sea. You can see the beach right down there. Down there, you can see, pardon the reflection of the hotel room. But we're on the coast of the Black Sea in the Hilton Hotel over here. Really, really nice place. It's been a long day. It's been a long road trip, and so many things happened while we were out there. And the road was treacherous, man, over the mountain passes and things like that. I can't believe what it was like. And it was all off-road. Couldn't take very good videos because there's other traffic around, there's construction vehicles, and there was big ravines and things we had to navigate and everything. So, and we had a very, very long way to go and a very short time to do it in. So unfortunately, I didn't take a lot of epic videos like that, sad to say. But I'm here now in Batumi, Georgia. We're going to take a little bit of a chill and another road trip coming up tomorrow. Thanks a lot for joining us on this one. Look forward to seeing you again. Thanks for watching. Please like and share and subscribe if you haven't already done it. You know the drill, that stuff. I don't want to keep on saying it, but join us on the road trip from here, Batumi, to another destination. It's going to be awesome. Oh shit, I did it again. I'm here at the Waterfall and I did it again. I gotta stop doing that. Why do I keep on doing that? I did it again. How many times have I done this? Right? Every time I go to shut it off, I hit the start button and it plays blooper reel. Driving myself crazy with that. Really. Buy this time for real. Oh wait, that button.